Welcome to Task and Tune, your go-to channel for deep, engaging conversations on global issues and emerging trends. Here we break down complex topics in a way that's easy to follow, perfect for when you're driving, working, or just relaxing. Subscribe now and hit the bell so you don't miss our next big, deep dive. For over a century, oil has been the backbone of the global economy, fueling transportation, industries, and nations. But as climate change accelerates and the world seeks cleaner energy, a new contender has emerged: electric vehicles. We stand at the crossroads of two powerful forces: fossil fuels and the electric revolution. Which will shape the future? Is this the end of oil, or will electric power fall short of its promise? Stick with us for the next hour as we dive into the battle that will define our world's future. Oil has powered the world since the late 19th century, driving cars, planes, and entire economies. But the invention of electric cars in the early 20th century and their recent resurgence challenges oil's dominance. In this video, we'll journey through the history of both oil and electric energy, compare their impacts on global markets, and discuss what the future holds. The history of oil as an energy source begins in the mid-1800s. While oil itself was known for centuries, its modern usage took off in 1859, when Edwin Drake drilled the first successful oil well in Pennsylvania, USA. This discovery sparked what would become the modern oil industry, revolutionizing energy production and consumption around the world. Early oil exploration saw booms in regions like Texas, Russia, and the Middle East, setting the stage for oil's dominance. Oil quickly became crucial during the Industrial Revolution. By the early 20th century, with Henry Ford's mass production of the Model T, the internal combustion engine took over, making oil the world's dominant energy source. The rise of automobiles, airplanes, and mechanized industries all depended on oil, pushing it to the forefront of global commerce. By the 1950s, oil wasn't just a fuel, it was a geopolitical asset. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Russia, and the United States became heavily dependent on oil production, while OPEC gained influence as a powerful oil cartel. Interestingly, electric cars were invented long before gasoline-powered ones. The first electric car was developed in the 1830s by Scottish inventor Robert Anderson, though it was little more than a crude prototype. By 1890, William Morrison in the United States built a more successful electric vehicle, sparking interest in the technology. By the early 1900s, electric vehicles accounted for about a third of all cars on U.S. roads. They were quieter, cleaner, and easier to drive compared to gasoline-powered cars. However, the invention of affordable gasoline cars, most notably Ford's Model T, quickly pushed electric vehicles out of the mainstream. The Model T's low price, combined with the discovery of cheap gasoline and the establishment of a nationwide gas station network, meant that electric cars couldn't compete. By the 1930s, they had all but disappeared from the roads. Fast forward to the late 20th century, and electric cars started to make a comeback. Rising oil prices, environmental concerns, and the threat of climate change renewed interest in electric vehicles. Governments began providing incentives for clean energy, and automakers responded. The real breakthrough, however, came in the 2000s with the rise of Tesla and the introduction of the Tesla Roadster. With improved battery technology, electric vehicles now offered longer ranges and faster charging times. Electric cars became more than just an alternative, they started to symbolize the future of transportation. Companies like Nissan, GM, and BYD began mass-producing electric cars, and the EV revolution was underway. Governments worldwide started pushing for electrification, offering subsidies and setting emission reduction targets. In 2020, electric vehicles still made up only a small percentage of global car sales, but experts predict a massive increase by 2030. Oil is deeply embedded in the global economy. It's more than just a fuel source, it's a geopolitical weapon. Countries that control large oil reserves have significant leverage over global politics. Wars have been fought over access to oil, and prices are frequently used to manipulate economies. The 1970s oil crisis is one of the most notable examples, where oil exporting countries imposed an embargo that led to soaring prices and economic downturns in many Western nations. On the other hand, electric energy is now expanding globally, particularly with the rise of renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower. Countries like China and India are leading this transformation, investing heavily in electric infrastructure. Europe, too, is making strides, with nations like Norway planning to phase out gasoline cars entirely. This shift is not just about reducing emissions, but also about ensuring energy security, reducing dependency on volatile oil markets. The economic implications of this transition are enormous. Oil-producing countries face the threat of losing their primary income source, while economies investing in electric infrastructure are set to benefit. The job market is also shifting, with millions of jobs in oil-dependent industries likely to be replaced by new opportunities in battery production, software development, and renewable energy. While oil has been dominant for over a century, it comes with a heavy environmental cost. The burning of fossil fuels is the leading cause of greenhouse gas emissions, contributing to global warming, rising sea levels, and extreme weather events. Oil spills, such as the infamous Deepwater Horizon disaster, have caused catastrophic environmental damage, while air pollution in cities powered by fossil fuels continues to impact public health. Electric energy, though touted as the cleaner alternative, is not without its challenges. The infrastructure for electric vehicles is still developing, particularly in less developed countries. Charging stations are not as ubiquitous as gas stations, and charging times, while improving, are still longer than refueling a gasoline car. Furthermore, electric vehicles rely heavily on batteries made from rare earth metals like lithium and cobalt. The mining and extraction of these metals have environmental and ethical concerns, particularly in regions like Congo, where child labor and unsafe mining practices are widespread. Another challenge for electric energy is the issue of energy storage. While solar and wind are cleaner sources of power, they are intermittent, meaning that electricity generation is not always consistent. Advancements in battery technology, particularly in energy storage, will be key to overcoming this barrier. So, where is this energy battle headed? Analysts predict that by 2040, electric vehicles could account for up to 50% of global car sales. Countries like Norway, Denmark, and the Netherlands are leading the charge, setting targets to phase out internal combustion engines entirely by 2035. However, industries like aviation and shipping, which require much more energy than electric technology can currently provide, are expected to rely on oil for much longer. For consumers, the transition will likely mean more affordable electric vehicles with longer ranges and faster charging times. More charging stations will be built, particularly in urban areas, and innovations like wireless charging and solid-state batteries could revolutionize how we use and think about electric cars. Oil, while still necessary in many sectors, will gradually play a smaller role in personal transportation as the world moves towards cleaner energy. The energy transition from oil to electric isn't just a technological shift, it's a shift in how we live, work, and move around the world. The battle between oil and electric energy is far from over, but one thing is certain: the future will be powered by the choices we make today. Which side are you on in this energy battle? Oil or electric? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Task and Tune for more deep dive content you can enjoy while working, driving, or relaxing.